everyone, and welcome to the much awaited first Grand Prix of the 2022 season, taking place in the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir. The top drivers and performers from Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull will be competing, but we will also see very interesting mid-segment races as we have up-and-coming and fan-favorite drivers such as Magnussen and Hülkenberg. Bottas is in a new team and the veterans Alonso and Vettel are paired with younger drivers, so it will be an interesting season. The Bahrain International Circuit at Sakhir at the middle of the desert is an award-winning circuit which is a night race just like Singapore. An award-winning circuit known for its excellence in safety and overall design is a great track to start the season in. The first qualifying and a real test for the teams led to a new pole sitter in Charles Leclerc and the first one for Ferrari after 2019 by Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc drove a flawless qualifying session and managed to stay ahead of the ever-hunting Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Sainz, who held pole, was pushed down to third. On row 3, Hamilton joined his own teammate Bottas, who was making a statement by starting 6th in the Alfa Romeo. Kevin Magnussen celebrated his surprise entry into Formula 1 with a 7th place start in Haas, while Alonso joined him on row 4. George Russell, hoping to be higher in the order with a faster car than last year, could only qualify 9th, with Pierre Gasly completing the top 10. It was lights out and away we go as David Croft typically flags off a race start, and all eyes were on the first right-hand corner. This race had 4 key highlights according to me. The new battle lines drawn between Leclerc and Verstappen, the struggle for pace of the Mercedes, Bottas and Magnussen's P6 and P5 finish, and Red Bull DNFs. The real first battle started in lap 17 through to lap 19, when Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc traded overtakes 4 times in high-speed corners and DRS zones. Charles Leclerc remained in the number 1 spot at the end of lap 19 and gained enough momentum to keep Verstappen at bay. This clearly is the emergence of Ferrari and Leclerc as a force in Formula 1. Mercedes impressed everyone with their new W13 design, but the performance has not lived up to the initial excitement. The performance has been affected by its aerodynamics and the resultant porpoising problems. Their cars seem to bounce the most due to porpoising and therefore affecting the performance on track. Hamilton and George Russell finished 3rd and 5th respectively, but their problems seem more serious than what the results show. Bottas and Magnussen were unique because they were in new teams and they were racing for the first time. Magnussen was clearly the best racer in the midfield this race. Can you imagine returning back to Formula 1 in a surprise call-up and being fit and ready to drive? Not only that, finishing 5th just below the top teams. Whereas Valtteri Bottas was driving for a new team in Alfa Romeo after driving for Mercedes and finishing in the top points for about 5 years. So we were keen to see how his season would start, and it did start well. A 6th place start and ending up in the same position proves what a good driver Valtteri Bottas is. This finish came after dropping down to 14th after the first lap, where he had clutch issues, like it had been the case in pre-testing as well. But Bottas drove a fantastic race and climbed up from 14th to finish a solid 6th. Therefore, these two midfield drivers were a key highlight in this Grand Prix. How racing can be cruel, where you can be on the top of the mountain one day and suddenly be at the bottom of the pit the next day. That's what Red Bull's first race turned out to be after seeing their driver Max Verstappen become the world champion in 2021 and finishing 2nd in the Constructors' Championship. While Max Verstappen was fighting for the number 1 spot with Charles Leclerc in the major part of the race, his car failed him at the closing stages of the race, where he limped into the pit lane where it looked like initially there were battery problems. Same was the case with Checo when the team thought they had at least one car come through to gain some points. That wasn't the case, as Perez, who was going strong in 4th place, fighting with Lewis Hamilton, had to retire right at the last lap as his car's rear axle locked, leaving the car to spin. The team principal recognized this disaster as the worst nightmare and couldn't remember when this had happened to them the last time. Well, this at the end was a solid loss to the team aiming to make Max Verstappen a back-to-back world champion and the team to win its constructors title after a very long time. But amidst all the key highlights, the best moment was to see a highly talented Charles Leclerc win the Bahrain Grand Prix of 2022. Even better for a Ferrari fan seeing a 1-2 finish. I don't think anyone expected Ferrari to make such a great start when they signed off the 2021 season. Credit goes to the drivers, the hard work of the R&D division and the entire engineering team to have worked through the holidays to make a winning car. Are we seeing the re-emergence of the Ferrari juggernaut? Last seen as world champions in 2008 and producing a world champion in 2007. Well, I don't think we should rule out Mercedes and Red Bull just yet, as the season's just started. But for now, congratulations to Ferrari and congratulations to all you Tifosis out there. Thank you for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed.